Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, I have my coffee. I hope you have yours. And we are going to highlight two ministries today that are making a difference in the lives of people struggling with addiction, substance abuse, and what they do is so creative. In just a moment, we're going to tell you about an event coming up that is you are going to want to attend, the anniversary of the Florida Recovery Schools of Tampa Bay, and they are meeting the needs of teens on high school level. They literally have high schools for teens that are struggling with substance abuse. We're going to get caught up with them in just a minute, but we're going to start today with something called the Recovery Church movement. And yes, it's a church that is reaching out and ministering to people in recovery. Let's take a look and see what they're doing.
My name is Justine.
My name is Jimmy Hagerman. Felony charges, it's at least a dozen.
My name is Katie Goodrich, and I'm an alcoholic.
My name is Donovan. I'm an addict.
I'm Grace. I'm an alcoholic and an addict.
There's no mystery that there's a battle, a war, a crisis going on in this country revolving around addiction.
Desperate time of opioid crisis, of addiction running rampant through our country.
The war on drugs is a battle for the soul of the nation.
If you keep chasing these things, you'll always be empty, you'll always be thirsty, but if you drink of me, you'll never thirst again. And at that moment, I didn't know that.
I actually started out as drunk church, and it was in a treatment center. Recovery Church is a unique ministry. We focus on reaching those who are early in their journey of recovery, their journey of sobriety, their journey of faith.
My name's Junior, and I've struggled with addiction for over a decade. One day I just got to a point where, I wanted to end my life. And that's when I decided to go to treatment. And a guy invited me to church. And I said, nah, God doesn't want anything to do with me. And when I got there, God spoke to my heart and said, you don't clean you, I clean you.
A lot of times we'll have an alcoholic or a drug addict that come into the church and we say, you just need to find Jesus. Don't say you're an alcoholic now because God has redeemed you and you're brand new. Apparently I didn't get a new mind. The Bible says I needed to renew my mind with the washing of the water by the word.
People need Jesus, but they also need a path of recovery. And sometimes there are tools and resources and community and language and culture that the recovery community can offer someone. And so when the church says, you know what, we don't fully understand this, but we want to see people well. We want to see them live an abundant life here and now. And yes, we want them to be with Jesus for eternity. And they're willing to step back and say, okay, let me look at this. And when there's a place that is allowed to be created, like a recovery church, it allows that bridge between them and the church. But then also you have people in the church who think, I don't need those 12 steps, or I don't need recovery, or I don't need treatment. All I need is Jesus. And so all you need is Jesus, but you've been drinking for the last 30 years and you're losing your wife and you're losing your job. Maybe there's something that the people over here in recovery might be able to teach you as well. And so it becomes a bridge from the rooms to the church and from the church to the rooms. And we see people get well and we see them stay sober and we see them find Jesus and we see families restored. And it's just a wonderful, beautiful mess.
Well, that gives you a look at the Recovery Church movement, and you've seen this gentleman already in the video that we have with us today, and we're so happy and honored to have the founder and president of the Recovery Church movement, Pastor Philip Dvorak. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Welcome. We just are so honored to have you, and I'm just amazed. I did not know about this Recovery Church movement, and we're going to talk. We have on the table, we're going to show a book in just a moment, which, by the way, before we do that, I have to say, he brought me a mug. Can I just say, anybody that knows this show knows how I love coffee, so we're going to display that here too, along with the book in just a moment. But Philip, before we get into some of the specifics about what this is, what this looks like at your church, short version, how did this get started?
It was God. The scriptures are clear that Jesus plants this church, but the reality is in our culture, in our society, more people are dying from overdoses than any other cause of death. and many of them were dying without Jesus. And we saw the need, and God told us to step in. And about 10 years ago, we said yes to the first recovery church, and now we're right about 120 of them and growing.
Well, what I'm going to say too is Pastor Phil brings so much to the table. He has served as a pastor, church planter, ministry executive, and licensed mental health counselor, and he worked with people dealing with substance abuse. So to have all these churches now, at 120, is that what you
Yes.
nationwide, internationally as well, started on the east coast of Florida. Okay, my first question is, what does a recovery church look like? How is it different?
Yeah, so in some ways, if you showed up, it would feel like a passionate, on-fire church. In some ways, you wouldn't notice all the differences. The main difference is we're speaking to the heart of the addict and alcoholic, because if we lose them, it's not that we just lose the opportunity to share the gospel. For now, is when we lose them, they die. And so it is imminent, in all definitions of imminent, that we reach them with the gospel of Christ. And so we're speaking a language, we're using the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous or the basic text of Narcotics Anonymous as a bridge and showing them the gospel truths and connecting to their heart.
Okay, so when you do that, is this happening in classes? Is this happening, like, how does the church service still incorporate some of the same, obviously,
Yes.
people could walk in there that maybe aren't.
Oh, absolutely.
Addicts.
So we have many people who come to Recovery Church who are not addicts. They might have someone who is an addict or alcoholic, but we have a lot of people who attend Recovery Church who are what we'll call normies. They're family members or loved ones, or just people who realize that they want a process of sanctification. They might have accepted Jesus, but they haven't worked out some of these details, and recovery can be a beautiful process. And so, yes, but you show up, and most recovery churches will have a time of worship, a time of teaching, and a time of open share and connection where we can share what's going on in our life and anything we need prayer for. And so on the surface, it would seem very similar to many churches, but kind of a church service colliding with an AA meeting is probably the best way to describe it.
That's a really good description. So do you do the one-on-one too as well? Like there's individual groups, small groups, because to me this would be a sense of community for people struggling. And are they at various levels of recovery?
Oh yeah. So people come in. Last night I was at a recovery church and was sitting and eating next to someone who literally I think was 2 days sober, and next to him was someone who had 40 years of sobriety, of recovery. And so you have everything coming together. But we encourage people to get a sponsor, to work a program. So at any given time, right now we have about 800 sponsor relationships where across our recovery churches, there are 800 people right now sponsoring someone, walking them through a program of recovery. We have 120 volunteers every week. And so there's a lot of individual care that is going on.
Okay, so do you get referrals from, like, how do people find out? Like if somebody's an addict, maybe they're going through a program or they're in a shelter somewhere, you never know what their situation is, a community. Are you connected how do you get these people to you?
So 90% of it has just been word of mouth and relationship. We've had very little conversations like this over the years. It's been primarily, hey, have you heard about, and come with me, and it's just been spreading. I mean, we have about 7,000 people gathering every week right now at Recovery Church. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing to me. Okay, so they're coming to the church. They're going through these targeted kind of moment where you're talking to the addict. At what point is this a transition now? When do they start getting into discipleship? And can this be their church home indefinitely? Or do they graduate out? How does that work?
No, great question. So we see ourselves in some ways a bridge to the local and global church. And so there are things right now that a recovery church might not be able to offer that a local Sunday morning expression is able to offer, that the new budding church plant isn't able to do yet. And so we're connected. Most recovery churches don't meet on Sunday morning for that very reason, so they can connect to the larger church. But it is a full expression of church. And so we don't want them necessarily graduating because there's newcomers coming in.
Yeah.
And the newcomers are going to need someone who's just a few steps ahead of them to help take their hand and walk them through this journey. And so if we might have someone who has 3 days sober and we might have someone who has 2 months sober, that 2-month person might be able to give the person with 3 days sober a little knowledge, a little experience. Hey, I was right there just a few weeks ago. You can make it. And then the person who has 40 years might be able to walk alongside the person who has a few months sober.
Okay, so I just heard something. You say that you do the recovery churches, not necessarily Sunday, so that they want to plug into another church, they can. So that tells me that you may have relationships with churches.
We do. Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have relationships with Bible-believing, Jesus-centered churches. And so as long as we're in agreement in the majors of the Christian faith, interdenominational, from Baptist to Assemblies of God and Presbyterian to everything in between, across this country and beyond. And so, and some of those churches have partnered with us to help plant a new recovery church. Some have just been prayer covering. Some have been places that said, hey, we can be a safe place for people early in recovery. Will you help train us on what that looks like for people who are in recovery to become a part of our church? And so we try to wrap around in all those ways.
Oh my gosh, I love the continuity of that. It's like both working together.
Absolutely.
Churches working with the recovery church. All right, you have a book. Tell us about this book. We're going to show it on screen. Tell us what this book talks about.
Yeah, so when God gave us the vision for Recovery Church, he just said, share the vision. And I argued with God saying, God, are you sure? This sounds crazy. You really want churches for people in recovery, by people in recovery? This is going to be a mess. And he said, just share the vision. And so my primary job has been share the vision, tell people the story of Recovery Church. And so we started writing down the story of what God did. And we said, well, what are we going to call the book? And we realized, you know what? It's his story or history of Recovery Church. And so it just tells the origin of Recovery Church, how we started just 10 years ago from one little location and moving into a bar, believe it or not, and then all of a sudden saying yes to more and just multiplying rapidly. And then in the middle of the book are just stories of hope, edited for grammar, but not edited for any others, just people's stories who are a part of Recovery Church. So we have people who are starting their journey, trying to figure out what they believe, to people who are now deep, helping others find Jesus in recovery. And then the last part of the book is just the vision for the future of where we see God taking it.
Which is where I want to wrap up our interview. This just seems like you are just, God is just exploding this.
It is.
So tell us what the future looks like and how our viewers can help, because I'm hearing more church plants are needed.
Oh, absolutely. We have more people wanting to plant churches, and then we have the resources in order to do, or the team to do. And so our theme right now this year is deep roots, because we've been growing so fast. We're saying, hey, we need to get some deep roots. And so right now we're at 120 locations in over 40 states, in Canada and Costa Rica, and soon to be Nepal and South Africa and Mexico. And so we need the resources behind that to make that happen. And so we really need prayer partners, and we need people to be willing to come behind and sow seeds financially to help us be able to reach more people with the gospel and a path of recovery.
And can they go to your website and do that?
Absolutely. So just recovery.church, not .com, recovery.church. And they can find out all the resources that connect directly with me. There's a way for them to give there and partner with us through prayer as well.
You have a great team that's come alongside you as well, including, that have their own stories.
Absolutely.
Their own testimonies. And what would you say in our closing comment has been have you seen a success rate? Have you seen people's lives change? Are people coming, staying, connecting? Are you connecting with these people that come to your churches?
Oh, absolutely. We can't. That's why we wanted to tell the stories, because we could give you stats of the thousands that there are. We had over 1,500 people baptized last year. We had, I think almost 3,000, no, more than that. More than 3,000 people come to faith last year at Recovery Church. And those are beautiful numbers, but the reality is the life changed, the family's restored. When you see Jimmy in Nashville with his children, or Junior, and now he has children and a wife, and or Michael, who's even on our team, who now has his master's degree and has little Mackenzie. You see those stories, and that's really the transformation.
Wow. Okay, Philip, that just says it all. Thank you so much for sharing about the Recovery Church movement. I love that term, movement. This is a movement. So stay tuned on the screen. You're going to see, again, information about this book and how you can get it in their website. And we have another story to tell you on impact a ministry is having with young people dealing with recovery. We'll be right back. Well, as promised, we have another ministry to highlight today that is dealing in the world of recovery from addictions. And we have had them on in the past, and we're so excited to have back with us the founder and executive director of Florida Recovery Schools of Tampa Bay, Tina Miller. Welcome back. I feel like there should be a drum roll when I said that. Tina Miller, which actually could happen because you have quite a story. And Tina's an author, motivational speaker. She's actually a comedian and makes me laugh many times. But she's worked in juvenile justice as well in the state of Florida. She brings to the table an incredible background of her own personal story of recovery from addiction to start high schools that are for teens battling addiction. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Florida Recovery Schools of Tampa Bay is a nonprofit organization, and I started these private nonprofit schools, Victory High Schools, in Pasco, Pinellas, and Hillsborough counties for ages 14 and 19-year-olds that struggle with substance use disorders and co-occurring disorders. The majority of our students have addictions and mental illness. So we provide hope and healing to them through mental health services and recovery support, and they can earn their diploma with us.
Yeah, what you guys do, and this started with one school. Before we get into some more details, you have a big event coming up, a 5-year anniversary. Tell us about it.
Yes. So the 5-year anniversary of our first school in Pasco County, and it's April 22nd. It's going to be at Calvary Chapel Worship Center. And it's a dream come true. I literally started this nonprofit in 2020 with $0.
Yes,
so
I remember that. I do.
Everyone thought it was crazy, but the Lord placed it on my heart, and so I leapt in faith, and I trusted Him, and I'm still trusting Him every payday.
It's still a faith walk, as we say. But you now have schools in 3 counties. You've expanded. Which is amazing. And so this is a celebration for all of it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
On April 5th, Wednesday, April 22nd.
Yes, Wednesday.
Right? And can everybody come?
Absolutely.
Public
and we're having a showcase. Our students are performing. So they've learned guitar lessons and drumming lessons. And then we're also setting up an art gallery, and we're going to showcase their paintings and their sculptures. But also we have a huge celebration. We are actually accredited now through the National Association of Recovery Schools.
Oh, wow. What an accomplishment.
Yes.
What an accomplishment. All right, give us and I know we're kind of moving quickly today. We're going to show some pictures in just a moment. Before we do, how do you integrate an educational training environment with young people and teens that are struggling with addiction? How do you make that work?
So
what do you do?
Our students come to us and they feel very lost and helpless and hopeless, and it's heartbreaking. And I believe we have a picture that shows the before and after picture
we're
of
show
them.
That in just a moment.
It is, they're so lost. And so we get very creative with our students. They're not your typical student that's going to sit at a desk and chair all day, for 6 hours a day. So we get them out. We do equine therapy. We do expressive art therapy. We have individual counseling every week, group therapy with them every week, recovery support. Each student develops a wellness recovery action plan that helps them with triggers and relapse prevention. And so it's just a wraparound service. We actually have a full-time caregiver advocate that works with the parents as well. And that's a huge component.
Part.
Yes, yeah. That's a huge positive impact on our families.
And the parents have to be so thrilled to have an option like this. Let's look at some pictures you mentioned and tell us what we're seeing here, because I know some of the students that we're going to see here.
So we actually go to Smart with Heart, which is an equine therapy. And as you can see, they have little mini horses. I just want to stick them in my pocket. They're so cute, right? So cute. And so they learn different ways. This was at another ministry up north that has equine therapy, but they had chickens. So our students actually got to raise the chickens and plant a garden and all of that. And that's another little mini horse from that equine therapy. And so they just have a great time together. At first, they're a little scared of the horses, but horses are very intuitive. And so they kind of match up with the students. So it's really cool. And they build a trust with these huge animals and little animals. Yeah. We celebrate different Thanksgiving, holidays and all of that. But we also celebrate their milestones. So maybe it's 30 days sober, or 6 months sober, 9 months sober. We're constantly celebrating. We do a lot of outdoor activities, basketball, pickleball, flag football, you name it. We keep them really busy. And that's just an example of the bonds that they make with one another, is that they really become family at Victory High School. And that's one of our young ladies.
That's the goal right there.
Yes, she earned her diploma with us. Beautiful young lady. And so we have fun, and it's not just a school, it's a family. We're there for them, to love them back to life, and hopefully, they gain their diploma. But some of our students, actually, majority of our students, we actually stabilize emotionally and then transition back to public school so they can graduate. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we've had 30.
Now, yeah, explain. All right, you got it. We're showing that you got to explain that.
So the young man on the left, he was in psychosis from drugs. Sky. He holds the highest GPA when he graduated, 4.1. The young man in the middle, we almost lost him multiple times. He had been in drug treatment 6 times, but he is now fixing turbines. He climbs 300 feet up in the.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And then the young lady on the right, Gladys, she graduated with us. She's a counselor at a drug treatment center now.
Oh my goodness! And you were sharing. You had number of graduates too.
Yes, 30 graduates. We have 9 more graduating with their diplomas in May.
Oh my goodness! And I love this idea of that you get them stabilized and moved to where they can also re-enter, go back into a public school environment.
Yes.
All right. You mentioned one thing that with the equine therapy, but I wonder about it overall. These young people come to you, do they come in kicking and screaming, or are they ready to make a change?
So typically I've worked with, children for over 28 years. Usually there's a honeymoon period. With our students, there is not. It's like 2 weeks of, they're going to say everything and anything to get kicked out, because that's what they're used to, sabotaging their placements.
So they're pushing the limits.
Yes, absolutely. But we just keep loving them and loving them back to life and giving them that hope and that healing that they deserve. And then sooner or later, they're like, all right, I guess I'll stay. And we had a young man actually that he said, I'll give it 2 days. That's it. And 4 years later, he's my staff now. So.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Yes. I love that. Tina, I know you're a nonprofit and you're open to all groups and you work with the community and you have amazing community connections, and you also really partner and really want the church community, the faith-based community, to understand this is faith in action, right?
Absolutely.
That's important to you.
A lot of our students come to us and they're so lost and they're atheists and they're angry and they've had maybe some type of abuse in the religious, realm. And we love them back to life. We love them exactly where they're at. And then a lot of them do become believers through that process.
You're reflecting Christ by yourself and how you're ministering to them.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing that Bay Focus does as well. We like to highlight those that are exclusively ministries and those that are community organizations and nonprofits that are open to a variety of levels, to show that the body of Christ can be connected in all of it.
Yes.
Can be moving in it and moving through it. All right. We're going to show the information on the anniversary again, but tell us, what are some of your greatest needs? How can our viewers help you on a year-round basis?
Prayers.
Yeah,
prayers is always, because these young people are constantly struggling just to want to be alive. Yeah. And that is what, breaks my heart is, so prayers, definitely, donations. We have fundraiser events throughout the year because we don't charge our families a penny. They've already spent thousands of dollars on drug treatment. The last thing I want to do is be a financial burden.
Right. So how can the viewers donate then? I think they can go through the website. Right?
Yes, yeah, thankvictory.com.
Yeah. Say that again.
Thankvictory.com.
Okay, so that is a way they can donate.
Yes.
Okay. And looking at we just have like a couple minutes. I want to just say this. I've watched your own story, your own personal story and testimony and all of this. We used to have Tina on before she did any of this. Yeah. She was out doing all kinds of things in the community. To see how God has led you and done this and opened doors for you, been on the Kelly Clarkson show, done various things to share the story. What keeps you going? This hasn't been easy. This is not glamorous.
No, not at all. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I've written over 100 grants, and I'm not stopping. I've had a lot of medical challenges the last couple years, but I keep focused on God and Jesus, and just, that's my heart. And I'll keep doing and opening more schools if the doors are open for me. So
do you stay connected with the kids once they've gone to?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we're still connected with our first graduate. Yep, we're family.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is not just we got you for the short term here, but Godspeed, goodbye. You're like, you're staying connected with them because you would be a very important person to them. And your staff, you have a great staff.
Incredible.
Comes
they
alongside
are wonderful,
you as well.
Yeah.
All right, Tina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For sharing again and update us. And we want to say again, we're going to put on the screen, there's a great 5th year anniversary event coming up, and we're going to show that information to you in a moment. If you can get out and do this on Wednesday, April 22nd, at the Calvary Chapel Worship Center Epicenter. I love that. That's right at the end of their name too. It's a great evening of celebration and showcasing what these young people have accomplished. So stay tuned. We're going to show that on the screen, and then we'll be right back with more of Bay Focus. Well, I know you've enjoyed today's program. I want to thank my guests, Florida Recovery Schools of Tampa Bay and Tina Miller, and then also Philip Dvorak with the Recovery Church Movement. Wow, what these two organizations are doing in ministries to reach people in addiction and to make a difference in their life and bring them into a whole new place of sobriety is amazing. So on the screen, you're going to see how you can contact me. I want to hear from you. God bless you. See you next week.